Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're the Movie Couple. I'm Dustin.
I'm Wendy, and this is our review for M3GAN 2.0. 2 years after M3GAN went rogue and embarked on a murderous rampage, its creator, Gemma, has become an advocate for government oversight of AI. Unbeknownst to her, a defense contractor has created a military-grade weapon known as Amelia. In hopes of stopping Amelia, Gemma decides to resurrect M3GAN, making her faster, stronger, and more deadly than ever. Now, M3GAN, the first one, was something that we thought was a lot of fun to watch. It kind of was marketed as a horror movie, and it did have a lot of horror elements. Fast forward to now, we have M3GAN, M3GAN 2.0, and if you saw our trailer reaction to it, you know that we were having fun with this property, as I feel like one should with this story. But one thing we noticed in the trailer was that they have completely done away with the horror aspect, and they definitely went and made it more action heavy.
Yeah, it's definitely more of like Terminator for kids kind of a sense. To like, if you took the Terminator franchise and turned it into like a PG-13.
Like a teen.
Yeah. So, I mean, going into this movie, we were ready for the switch in tone and for this movie to be very self-aware of what it's doing. Because in the very first one, they were very self-aware that they were making kind of like a campy horror movie that you could introduce kids to the idea of horror.
Yeah, like a baby roller coaster.
Yeah, the baby roller coaster for kids.
Into horror films.
And the same kind of thing is what was on our mind when we were going into this, that it was going to be a fun, campy, PG-13 action movie.
Yeah, and campy is what we got. It's not campy all the way through, but there's a lot of camp moments. And again, this movie, it knew what it was going to be. I think it understood its audience, and it didn't take itself seriously. In fact, there was one part where it was M3GAN does something so completely out of the blue, but also not at all at the same time. If you watch the first one, you're like, yep, that's kind of on brand for M3GAN. It was so fun. It was so fun to watch because also the entire theater like erupted in laughter. And that's what I wanted to get out of the sequel for M3GAN, that I didn't want them to go too serious. I still wanted some over the top. I wanted some good action, a little bit of horror. I will say I feel like I did kind of miss the horror element in it. There was a little bit up front in the beginning when they introduced Amelia, but after that kind of wore off, it full on became, like you said, Terminator.
Yeah, it was very much a whisper of horror. I mean, they really did. They just went full throttle into the idea of going action-packed, of going stunts, of going fighting, of going shootouts and car chases. And they handled, I think, everything pretty well in switching tones in this movie. And also, when we say people were laughing in the audience, they were laughing in a good way, but it was still laughing at it being self-aware on how cheesy and campy it is. Because one of the big funny parts of this movie is M3GAN's sass.
Oh, she's so funny.
They took that sassiness and just cranked it up to 11.
Yeah, they really did, and I appreciate that, and I think it works, judging by the laughter. You know, sometimes you go in a movie and a joke is so bad you can't help but just laugh at it because it's ridiculous. This one, you're laughing because you're like, oh my god, that's kind of cheesy, campy, over the top, but also hilarious because it worked. It fits. Yeah, it's very much in theme with the last movie. We obviously have the returning characters. Everybody's, there's some time has passed, so like everybody is a little bit more grown, including M3GAN. What I thought that they really did a lot of, and it was just barely too much, was that they really crammed like it full of different like stories and arcs. Yeah. Like they started with this, like especially with Gemma and how she felt after the events of M3GAN, that AI is dangerous, and she is even really like, barred her niece from using like having too much screen time. So they explore that side of it, and kind of, at this point it's not really new, but it's something very much that we live around, which is the existence of AI and how it's used. But in this movie, obviously, it's very exaggerated because they have built like a killing machine with AI, and what happens if they were to become self-aware. So I felt like they were trying to walk the line of like, AI good, AI bad, AI fight each other, and how do humans kind of exist with the AI and also like try to kind of control it and
Yeah,
you know.
they did a lot of like theory searching on this, where there was like, hey, what is AI going to do? How can we do that? And I really liked the world building, the character building, the storyline building. I was actually surprised on how much time they actually devoted
Yeah.
to it. I personally think they probably could have cut like maybe 10-15 minutes out of this part of the movie, but there was never a point that I was like, okay, we get it,
Right.
let's shut up and just see the robots fight.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I think there's a nice balance of the talking, the story building, the character building, and like the flashy stunts and the robots going at it. That's I think with the androids that something that everybody wants to see. I will say that towards the end there was, just for me, like one twist too many.
Yeah.
There was one twist too many where I was like, okay, like let's like we get it, because a lot of it was kind of telegraphed. But overall, I had a fun time with it. I got exactly what I wanted. I almost feel like I wanted even a little bit more of the M3GAN sass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So-
that's honestly what sells this movie, is that M3GAN sass and just the bonkers stuff that she says and does.
Yeah.
And it's done in a way that's entertaining and fun.
Yeah, I think like one of my favorites, a lot of my favorite lines from M3GAN was when she was in the trailer. You see it where she's in that like small, tiny Teletubby type robot. Like a lot of that interaction, the whole, in the time that she was stuck inside that, or when they put her in that, I thought was just so funny, because then she is literally physically non-lethal, but she still has her wit, and so she can kind of like fight with you with her words. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into our rating for M3GAN 2.0. The movie couple rating system is listed for you in the video description below. I wanted to have fun. This is the one where I want to, go in and sit down, kind of turn off my brain for 2 hours and just enjoy and see where the sequel takes us. And eat popcorn, and that's exactly what I got. I got a lot of good laughs, a couple of like I was like one or two like white knuckle moments where I was like, oh, because Amelia is a force to be reckoned with. I just had fun with it. I don't know if they would make a third one. I think it really depends on how this one does in the box office.
Yeah.
There's certainly, I think when you have AI and when something can exist digitally as well as physically, there's always a possibility for another one in the franchise, so we'll see. But I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'm gonna give this one a matinee.
Me too. I had a lot of fun. I kind of got exactly what I was expecting. If you're looking for a horror sequel, you're not going to get it in this movie. There's hints of it sprinkled in there, but that's pretty much it. But if you're looking for just a fun, campy, good time, popcorn shoving in your face, this is definitely my jam. I'm going to give it a matinee as well. It's definitely worth going to see in the theaters.
All right, and there you have it. That is our thoughts on M3GAN 2.0. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section once you've seen it as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.